Hello and welcome. Today we are looking at the JINGDATOYS JD20S quadcopter. This is an HD streaming drone that has a tiltable camera. It somewhat resembles the new DJI Mavic Air. It has altitude hold, auto takeoff, auto land, one key return, and has a good solid flight time. So let's check this out. Now the drone comes in this small square white box here, showing the drone clearly here in the front, and it's from JINGDATOYS. It's the JD20S 6-axis gyro system quadcopter for ages 14 plus. And down here there's a listing of all its features, such as HD camera, headless mode, accelerometer flight, long flight time, so on and so forth. And right here at the top you could see how the quadcopter folds in and out, and you can see how compact the controller is and how the antennas also fold out, although they're probably not real antennas. And not much going on the sides. Here in the back you could see the white version of the quadcopter, and here at the bottom you can see that there are two versions of the quadcopter, a white and a black one. This one right here is the black, and there are three variations of the quadcopter. There's one that has a 0.3 megapixel camera, and then there are two that have 2 megapixel cameras, and I believe this one may be the 5G version. So, but I'm not sure about that. So that's essentially it there for the packaging. So now let's open it up and see what's inside. Right here. So as you can see here, the drone is laid out nice and visible behind this clear plastic cover. And here is the transmitter, as you can see, with these folding, I believe they're fake antennas, and resembles a DJI transmitter. Here is the quadcopter, all folded up and compact. As you can see, it easily folds out in any direction. Pretty cool. Put that there. And then here we have some documentation, instruction manuals, pamphlet about the app that has YHFPV. Now, you can order this in several battery variations. You can get it with 1 battery, 2 batteries, or 3. This particular package has the 3 battery set. So as you can see here, we'll have 2 additional batteries, including the one in the quadcopter. So that's that. And then here are the additional accessories. Here are the propeller guards. And here are the spare propellers and the charger and a screwdriver. So that's essentially it. Now let's organize all this and take one last look at the contents of the box. Now, taking a last look at the contents of the box, we have the drone itself. It's 3.7 volt, 1800 milliamp LiPo battery or batteries, depending on the set you get. 2 spare propellers, 4 propeller guards, a screwdriver, a micro USB charge cable, the instruction manuals and pamphlets, and the transmitter. So now let's take a closer look at the drone. Now, taking a closer look at the drone, this is a very cool looking drone that highly resembles the new DJI Mavic Air, with its design here at the top and its foldable setup. And right here at the front, you could see it has its folding 720p HD wide angle lens camera, 2 megapixels. I'm not sure if there's a 1080p version available or coming out soon, but there may be. And you can see here how it folds 90 degrees right there at the bottom. So very cool. And it's a very well lit quadcopter. As you can see here, if you turn it on, you have 2 glowing eyes here in the front, and then you have lights on each of the leg corners and a red light here in the back. So very well lit, very nice looking quadcopter in the evening. And then Right here is its on-off button, and you simply keep it pressed to either turn it on or off. And this is a brushed motor quadcopter, and it's very easy to fold and compact it. You can start either with the rear legs followed by the front, or you could start with the front followed by the rear. It really doesn't matter. And you can just simply align the propellers like this, and it has a very sleek, cool folding pattern here. So very neat. And right here at the bottom is its SD card slot. So it does take an SD card, which is very good. So the footage would save to that, and it won't have any skipped frames and would have a smooth frame rate. And this quadcopter does not have optical flow nor GPS. I'm not sure if there will be any versions with those features being released soon, but this one right here simply has the altitude hold and headless mode, but does not have those additional features. And right here in the back, going over the battery a bit, it has its 3.7 volt 1800 milliamp LiPo battery. And to charge this, you simply use this little port here with any micro USB cable, such as the included one, and you just simply plug this in and charge the battery. And it takes a little while to charge it, somewhere around 90 to 120 minutes. And it does give the quadcopter close to an 18-minute flight time, around 15 to 18 minutes, which is pretty good. And it's real easy to just pop in there. Same with the propeller guards. They just snap in right here in these openings. You just simply slide in the propeller guards, and they just snap into place there like that. And that's essentially it. So very easy to put the propeller guards, and to replace the propellers you just simply unscrew there with the included screwdriver, and then put in the new propeller and then screw it back in. So very easy to change the propeller guards or the propellers. And that's essentially it for the quadcopter. So now let's take a closer look at its transmitter. Now, taking a closer look at the transmitter, this is a very small compact transmitter that highly resembles a DJI transmitter, like for the Mavic Air, Mavic, Spark, etc. It does have these foldable antennas, but I believe these antennas are just for aesthetic purposes. They're really not utilized by the quadcopter. And this transmitter does take 3 AA batteries right here in the back, and it is held in with a screw right there. Now, going over the controls a bit, we have the left throttle stick and right rudder stick. These arrow buttons are all for directional trims. This is the headless mode button. This is the 1-key return button. This switch right here is the power button. This right here is the rates button. So we have 3 rates of speed denoted by beeps. So 1, 2, and 3 beeps. This right here is the flips button. So you push that, you'll hear some beeps. And then you can move the rudder either left or right to do a side roll or flip. This quadcopter does not do front flips nor back flips. And right here is a little light indicator showing that the quadcopter is either on or bound, like so. And to auto takeoff and auto land, simply push in the left throttle stick to do an auto takeoff, and then to do an auto land, you would push in the right rudder stick and it will perform an auto land. So those are essentially the controls there. Here at the bottom, it does have a fold out section here where you can put your cell phone or mobile device. And as you can see, there's plenty of room, but definitely not enough for a tablet or a larger tablet. And that's essentially it for the transmitter. It does provide the quadcopter with somewhere around an 80 to 100 meter range of control. So very good there. So now let's take a closer look at setting this up for a first-time flight and its app. Now, setting up the drone for its first-time flight is very straightforward. Once you have a fully charged battery inserted into the drone, along with fresh batteries inserted into the transmitter and an SD card inserted into the drone. You want to start out by turning on the drone right here and keeping the center button pressed until the lights start flashing like that. Next, you want to turn on the transmitter, and it should auto bind within a few seconds, as you can see, so no need to push the left throttle stick up and down. At that point, you're bound to the quadcopter. A good recommended first step is, while the drone is at the ground level, flat and not moving, you want to calibrate the gyros, and to do that, you simply push both sticks down into the center like so, and you'll see how there'll be a couple of quick blinks and then it'll stop. That means the gyros are calibrated and it should be stable in flight. Now you have two options for takeoff. You can either push in the left throttle stick for an auto takeoff, or you can start the motors in idle by moving both sticks down and out, and that'll start the motors in idle, and then you can give it altitude and take off from there. So that's essentially it for setting up the drone for the flight. Now we want to connect to the drone using the app and Wi-Fi and get an FPV stream. So let's check that out now. Now, once in your mobile device's Wi-Fi settings, you want to look for an entry here that says Wi-Fi 720p, and it'll have a serial number. And initially there is no default Wi-Fi password or anything like that, so you would simply connect to that to connect to the quadcopter. And then at that point, you would launch this app right here, which is YHFPV with that icon right there. And it's available in both the iOS and Android app stores. So you would simply launch that. And then you will be greeted with this screen right here. And there is some settings here. And you definitely want to set the 720p preview and some other settings here. And then there's also some help documentation on using the app. But mainly you want to go right here to where it says play. So you would launch that right there, play. And as you can see, we're already getting an FPV feed here with the quadcopter, as you can see here. Not too much lag there. And the range of FPV here is somewhere around 80 to 100 meters. And now, kind of going over the app a little bit, this icon will take you back to the main screen. This will take pictures, this will take video. This will access your photo gallery with pictures and videos that you've taken. This one right here will turn on the virtual controls or turn them off. So if you do that, you can actually fly the quadcopter with just the app and not even the transmitter. But once you turn on the virtual controls, which give you the throttle and rudder, 360 flips, the directional trims, you have some additional controls and options like the speed or the rate of speed here, which is at 30, and then you can go to 60 and 100, so low, medium, and high. And if you want to enable or disable altitude hold, you would simply click on this hourglass type of icon there, and that will enable or disable the altitude hold, as you can see here with the left throttle stick. And so that's the altitude hold. You have some additional controls here in the center. You can actually speak voice commands with this microphone icon, and you can tell the quadcopter to go forward and back, and it will react to basic voice commands. This will unlock the motors or allow it to be actively used by the app. And here is the emergency shutoff button. This will allow you to fly with the accelerometer here with this icon right there. So if you tilt the phone a certain way, the quadcopter will fly in that direction using the phone's accelerometer. And then right here on the right, you have some other options here, like reversing the screen if you want to flip it upside down if necessary. And here it'll split the screen so that you can see it using 3D goggles or cell phone FPV goggles. And then right here you have your headless mode. This is your compass calibration, and this will allow you to fly using using a pattern here. So it's like a little waypoint pattern, and the quadcopter will fly using that pattern. But if not, you can just simply disable it and just simply fly with the right rudder stick. So those are essentially the controls there. Overall, this is a very nice flyer, very smooth flyer, and has a good camera, has a good flight time, good flight characteristics, and it's just a very good smooth flyer. So let's take it out for a flight and see how she performs.